Hey guys, what's up? Are we live?
Hello.
Are we live here? Let me double check on that. Mario, what's up, bro? Good evening. How are
Hey,
you?
what's up, man? I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty well, man. What a roller coaster.
It is indeed. It is
Yeah,
indeed.
let me check that. There you go. Yeah, perfect. The
Mm.
audio is working pretty well. So, welcome back, guys, to
What's up?
our live streamings. Remember that we are going
Amazing.
live for you guys on Thursdays. We talk about the markets, we go over some stocks, and tomorrow we have a big, but I mean huge day in the markets. We are going to get the jobs report of September. This is going to be obviously a big market mover, and the markets are kind of fading the rip that we saw on Monday and Tuesday, Mario. So we can make the case that there are a lot of doubts out there when it comes to the jobs report. What the markets are expecting is 250,000 new jobs that have been created during the month of September. And
Hmm.
keep in mind that last month, so in August, we got 315,000 new jobs.
Hmm.
And the most important metric, arguably, is going to be the average hourly earnings. This is going to be a big market mover tomorrow as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the increase month over month is expected at 0.3% versus
Hmm.
0.3% in August.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, even in the
Yep.
event that the average hourly earnings happens to come out as expected, there
Mm-hmm.
was no improvement from
Yeah.
an inflation standpoint. So
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts about the report, Mario? And if any of you guys have any questions about the report and about the reaction that the markets might be having, please drop your questions down there. There you go.
All right. So,
So, what do you think, Mario?
uh, it depends. If like there are too much, again, just like inflation, deflation, there are like multiple camps in this scenario as well. One
Mhm.
side is expecting the job reports to come lower, which is what the Fed wants. And if that happens, markets, that's what the market is expecting at the moment, having people to lose their jobs and then like getting the
Mhm.
labor market to slow down. So
Mhm.
Fed doesn't have to go as aggressive as they are doing it right now because like it's working out for them for now. But the other camp is job market is still strong and Fed might
Mhm.
need to double down on their rate hikes to clamp on the economy to slow the demand. And the market doesn't want that. So that is another camp. So it depends on what we get tomorrow. We can see the wage inflation like zero. If we get the wage inflation to 0.2 and then the
The
payrolls
jobs.
data come
Mhm.
lower.
Mhm.
And yeah, we can see some upside in the markets. VIX is at 30, so I won't be surprised if we see some wild swings in the pre-market session. And the other side of the tape is they have strong jobs data. Market doesn't like it. We make a new low, and
Mhm.
all those
Yeah,
stuffs are in the
that's
cards.
on the cards. Absolutely. If the
Mm-hmm.
report happens to come out worse than expected, very good news for
Mm-hmm.
the bulls, guys. So let's say that we
Yeah.
get a reading of 200,000 jobs, and we get a
Mm-hmm.
reading of, when it comes to average hourly earnings, of zero point 0.1, 0.2. We are going
Mm-hmm.
to see most likely a massive rally tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Unless
Indeed.
something unexpected happens.
Mm-hmm.
However, on the flip side, if the report happens to come out better than expected, let's say 300,000, 350,000 new jobs, plus the average hourly earnings reflecting an increase month over month of, I don't know, 0.5, 0.6%. I
Mm-hmm.
think that there is a first chance, Mario, of retesting the lows of last Friday,
Yeah.
3,580 points or something like that. Keep in mind that today we got the jobless claims report. It came out reflecting 219,000 new claims versus 203,000, which was the estimate. But
Mm-hmm.
these reports of jobless claims have been coming out way below 250,000, which would be per week, which might be reflecting some sort of softening of the
Mm-hmm.
labor market. So if
Maybe.
we
Yeah.
take into account the jobless claims that we got throughout September, we can make the case that the jobs report tomorrow is very likely to come out um, harder than expected.
Slower.
And on Tuesday we got the jobs happening, which
Mm-hmm.
was good news for the bulls. So jobs
Mm-hmm.
openings came out at 10 million new jobs versus 11 million estimate. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a case here for both the bulls and the bears. So
True.
the bears would argue, okay, but jobless claims have been coming out very hot, and a bull would say, yeah, but we got the job openings report on Tuesday, and we saw a reading of 1 million fewer jobs available relative to what was the estimate. So we can
Mm.
make a case over here for both bulls and bears. What's your
True. I agree.
personal What's your personal take
All right.
on
My
what
personal,
the report is going to be reflecting, Mario?
I have a wild take when it comes to price action. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just a bias. No, I'm not at any puts or calls, but it's just a bias on what I think might happen. So
Mhm.
let me share the screen.
Absolutely, go ahead.
So this is for QQQ. We're looking at the Nasdaq 100 triple Q chart. If we do market do react in a bad way tomorrow, I won't. There is a wild theory for me that they will close under 273 tomorrow,
Mhm.
and which is also the 200 SMA in the weekly charts, right? So they'll close under 273 and then like tank for the first 2 weeks continuously and then like take it from there. So that's just a theory which might or might not play out. So I'm keeping an eye out for 273 in QQQ. I'm expecting them to close under it tomorrow after the payrolls data, and that'll be like closing the weekly candle under the 200 SMA, and then like they can just take it from there, sort of thing.
Correct. But okay, let's say um, to give the guys a broader perspective. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say, Mario, that the report happens to come out worse than expected
Mm-hmm.
and reflecting less wage inflation. So the
Mm-hmm.
what would be the positive scenario for the bulls tomorrow?
A possible scenario for the bulls
A
will be
positive.
opening
Let's say,
above,
yeah,
yeah.
if the report happens to play in favor of the bulls.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about macro or like price
No, no,
action?
macro. Let's say that they get a good report. So
Okay.
fewer
Mm-hmm.
jobs and less wage inflation. What would be?
If you're,
What do you think?
I mean,
How high can triple Q go in that case?
okay. So if that's the case, I mean, if they gap up and if they like the report, I can see them gapping about 285 and running a test all the way to the highs of this breakdown candle at 293.
Jesus, what a rally that would be, right? Jesus.
Yeah. I
Would you
wouldn't be
get
surprised if that happened.
okay? Would you get calls? Would you buy calls if the report happens to come out worse than
Uh,
expected?
yeah, if they gap up about 285, I would consider.
Okay, okay,
If they gap up
okay.
about 285, I would consider calls. I mean, 285, they will come down to run a test to these previous highs, which is also the 20 SMA, I guess, somewhere around
Mhm.
this area. 283 and changes the 20 SMA. So they might come down to run a test to the 20 SMA before taking off to the upside. So I will be keeping an eye out for it. So I will go long if they open about 285 tomorrow.
Okay, horrible report. 400,000 new jobs. Wage inflation at 0.7%, 0.6%. What's
Mhm.
your uh, what's your idea about the triple Q? So
The
we
gap.
retest the lows of last Friday, right?
Mhm. Yep,
There
the
you go.
gap will be filled at 273. That is for sure. So we will come all the way down to fill this gap at 273 and change to the downside. And that's one likely scenario. And closing under it opens a new can of worms sort of thing. So as I
Correct.
said, it coincides with my theory as well, which has been running around in my head. So they will come all the way down, close under the 200 SMA, which is at 273 and change, and then take it from there next week, whatever it is. So my target for QQQ is at around 251 or all the way down to 240. Sorry, 234. So that's my target if there is any potential bottom, if there is any stuff. I'll be keeping an eye out for these numbers, but for tomorrow's wise, breaking under 273 is what I'm expecting a likely scenario to happen in case of a bear sign.
Correct. 234, which happens to be a previous resistance back from where, Mario?
234, 274, it's been acting as support back from It was a
Yeah.
resistance back in
Mhm.
August 2020, and it also acted as support during October 2020. So I would be
Yeah.
keeping an eye out
But
for these
you said
levels
that
soon.
worst case scenario we could see 234, right?
No, yeah, I mean not tomorrow, but in
Oh,
longer time frame.
gotcha. It was like, wow, Mario got more
Yeah,
berries here. There you go.
no,
234.
no,
Oh
no, no,
my
no.
God.
It's like a longer
Death,
time frame.
death to America. There you go.
Yeah,
Guys, if you want us to go over any given stock, did you see the shit show of AMD after hours, Mario?
yep, yep, yep,
They
yep,
are
yep.
lowering guidance. Surprise, surprise. So AMD is getting a
Let's see.
big hit after hours.
Yeah,
I
they are
was
back
about,
under this
Mario.
range.
I was 3 seconds away from
Hmm.
buying AMD Leaps today. Lucky enough, I didn't
Hmm.
do it. I'm gonna do it
Glad you
tomorrow
didn't.
because we already have 2025 calls available
Oh,
in the option
really?
chains. Oh yeah, yeah, 2025. So I
Nice.
think that if we buy AMD at these levels, we should be fine in 2025. Most likely. Most likely.
Hmm.
That's not a certainty, obviously, right?
Hmm. Interesting. Nah, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch anything here on AMD. I won't be surprised if they come down to fill this gap at $61 tomorrow.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
want 59. Like if I get 59, then I can think about it. So until then, nah, nothing. I'm
There you
not
go.
touching it. So I mean,
Did you take
though markets had a great past 2 days, it still couldn't break the range it's just been having for the past 1 week. It's still trading in
Mhm.
between the range if you look into it. They yesterday they ran a test, they got rejected. And even after the gap up happened, markets had like 3.5% rally for the past 2 days. It still couldn't
Mhm.
break it. It just tells me weakness. So now they're gapping it down. So I'll be surprised if they test the lows of $64 or even come all the way down to fill this gap at 61.75.
Okay. Can you please let me take a look at the guidance that they just posted? I have it on Thinkorswim
Yeah,
available.
sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let me take a look at this. So let's see if this was really that bad, bro. So
Mm-hmm.
let me see. I should have it here. Let me see. Let me look it up. Cuts Q3 revenue. Blaming slowdown in PC market. Oh man. So Nvidia is also taking a hit, I guess, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let me pull you up here once again. Hold. Okay. Let me see. So let me see what they did here. So they cut revenue. So analysts on average expected AMD to generate Q3 revenue of $6.69 billion, but I don't have. Let me see. Yeah, they are expecting um something between 6.5 billion to 6.9 million. Sorry, $1 billion. So yeah, they could still beat expectations whenever they post earnings for Q3,
Mm-hmm.
and they are blaming let me see, sheetmaker blaming the likely shortfall on a weaker than expected PC market and significant inventory corrections. Oh my God, throughout the personal computer supply chain. So yeah, and it isn't the end of the world, guys, for real. So analysts were expecting revenue to come out at 6.69 billion, and AMD says like, hey, worst case scenario, I might be making 6.5 billion, but
Mm-hmm.
they still leave on the table the possibility of beating expectations whenever they post earnings in October, throughout this month, or in November. I don't know when AMD is going to post earnings. So it isn't that negative, to be honest, now that I am taking a look at the report. Yeah, it isn't the end of the world, but yeah, the markets, is it up after hours? No, it is. It is down a bit,
AMD,
right?
nah.
Yeah, it is
What are we talking
down.
about?
Yeah, 3%, 3.45%. It is still um, above the lows from last week. So
Mm-hmm.
there is not really nothing to be extremely concerned about this situation of AMD. So
Mm-hmm.
let me say hello to the guys. Steven Izquierdo, what's up, guys? We have
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn Fenced, which is asking for Tesla. You want to go over Tesla, Mario?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah, Cari
Just
Kid, Eduardo Rendon, what's up, bro? Jimmy Jones, Steven Izquierdo, Jay Talamantes, Johnny Munoz. Good evening, guys. So Tesla.
Tesla,
Hey, by the
Tesla,
way, I
Tesla.
I I got news for you guys. So Elon said, no, the team that is working with Elon on the Twitter deal, they said today that the deal might be finally closed on October 28th, Mario.
Nice,
Okay.
finally.
Yeah, I got news for you. Yeah, October 28th. All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Finally. All right. So Tesla held on to this trend line from June lows, which also goes all the way to like the COVID 2019 crash as well. This trend line, which we see over here, goes all the way to 2019 COVID, 2020 COVID crash. They held on to it as support, and now they're under it. So tomorrow, opening under open stores for 233 again. So that's an important area to keep an eye out for Tesla, breaking under 233, open stores for like 226 and change to the downside. So something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah,
233 is important to
241.
the downside.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
241 is an important pivot over there, Mario.
Yep,
I
for the
have,
bulls. Yep.
yeah, in my book, I have 251, 241, and 231. So we
Yep.
have like a $10 spread over there, and those
Mhm.
three numbers are important for Tesla.
Exactly.
And
So something to
obviously,
keep an eye
guys,
out for.
yeah, you have to keep in mind that whatever Tesla is going to do tomorrow and AMD and any other given stock is going to depend on the reaction of the markets um, after the jobs report happens
Yep.
to come out. So keep that in mind.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
have to be aware that at least during the first 1 hour or 2 hours of the training session, the macro
Mhm.
aspect, the macro repercussion of the jobs report is going to affect the 99% of the stocks out there. How would
Agreed.
you trade Tesla, Mario, if you were to take a trade
Tesla.
tomorrow? Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm pretty sure they're either gonna open about 242 tomorrow or open under 233 tomorrow after the jobs data. So opening under 233, wait for it to retrace back to 233.72, and then you can just take the trade all the way down to 230 to the downside, or all the way to like 266 to the down, 226 to the downside.
Yes.
So those are the trades to the downside to watch out for. But I mean, Tesla, it can, if it moves heavy. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But to the upside, if they open above 242, watch out for the same range all the way back up to 254 to be tested up north. And if they break above 254, we'll take it from there. So that's the range. About 241, 254 will follow. Below 233, 226 will follow. Simple as that.
And you guys have also, you need to keep in mind that this stock is going to be highly susceptible to any news that comes out about the deal in regard to Twitter. So if you
Yeah.
start a trade over here, you have to be ready to deal with a bunch of volatility.
Yeah.
And now
bunch,
there you have Twitter. It ended
bunch
up
of bullshit. That's what it is.
Yeah, it ended up going down today, right?
Yeah. Down 3%.
Yeah, correct. So keep in mind, guys, that the deal is supposedly going to be closed on October 28th. So that
Mhm.
implies Elon is going to pay $54 per share in the case of Twitter. So if any of you happens to be 100% certain that the deal is going to go through or that the deal is actually going to be closed, you can buy shares of Twitter right now at what was the closing price today, Mario? $49?
49 bucks. Yep, you're
Correct.
right.
So whenever Elon takes this company private, you're going to be paid $54 per share, even if you pay $49 over here, right? But obviously,
Yep,
this comes with a risk. Elon can
exactly.
say, yeah, Elon can say tomorrow, you know what? I changed my mind once again. Fuck this deal. And if that happens, Twitter is going to go down to, I don't know, like $30 or $35.
Easy,
So
easy.
yeah, that's a big the big risk that we have over there. So Javier
Mhm.
Rodriguez, SPY, Mario, if you want to go over the SPY.
All right. So for SPY, I want to share my notes and then like explain it to them so everyone can understand alongside with
Okay,
the charts.
awesome.
So just a minute.
We
So
have
let
this.
me.
We have a guy here said he says, I don't believe Elon will buy Twitter. He's like the weather, Mario. Yeah, he is.
Really? Who's saying
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Don't tell that to a Tesla shareholder. Yeah, like me, whatever.
So nah, man. Like if they didn't buy Twitter, then it's a good news for you as a Tesla
Yeah, it
shareholder.
would
Don't
be
you think?
very good news. Yeah, for every single
Yeah,
Tesla shareholder, for sure. So,
exactly.
sorry, SPY, go ahead.
So for now, SPY, it's pretty range bound session as I mentioned in the morning, right?
Yeah,
So to the upside, 378.50 and 380, and to the downside, 372 to 370. So that's the range which we have been having for the past few days, I guess. So if that continues tomorrow, until they open above it or below it, we're just gonna keep carrying around. So today, as you can see, we got rejected at 278.50, which was the highs of today. And then like they came all the way back down to the lower point of the pivot, which was at like around 370 and change. So this is the range that you've been having it for now, but still above the 5-day moving average, and
Mhm.
still it's in the range. Since the volatility is up right now, we are seeing the ranges kind of a $10 range to the upside and downside, but with VIX at 30, it's pretty much expected. So leading into tomorrow, if they break about 380, we can easily clock 384.50 to like 387 to the upside on SPY. If they break under 370, we can easily come all the way down to fill this gap at 366.50, or even run a test to the 364 range to the downside. So
Correct.
volatility is expanded, so we can easily see some big moves like this. All depends on the reaction of the markets from the jobs data. So about 380, say hello to 382.50, 385 to the upside, below 370, watch out for 366. If you see the daily chart, you have this tail candle, which has no explanations yet. They gapped it up on Monday, but we still have this tail candle, which I don't know why it isn't there, to be honest. Like it's been catching my eyes for the past few days. So if they come all the way back down to fill this at 366 and change, it will be very much possible, very much likely scenario in the cards.
There you go. I have an interesting fact for you, bro.
Mhm.
So check this out, guys.
Go
Every
ahead.
single time, every
Mhm.
single time that the Fed has cut rates, interest
Mhm.
rates, the
Mhm.
VIX has been at 40 or above 40 points.
Yep.
That's a coincidence. Remember, when it comes to the VIX, there are no
Mhm.
buyers, no sellers,
Yep.
but
Mhm.
that's a very interesting coincidence. So we could make the case that the bulls might be expecting the VIX to go up to 40 points. So finally,
Mhm.
we can have a very disruptive situation in the
Mhm.
markets, and maybe the Fed might be saying like, okay, guys, that's fine. I am going to rethink what I am doing. Let's pivot. And once the Fed says let's pivot, or maybe let's cut interest rates to
Seven
all
percent
to
update.
the to all time high we go, guys.
Yeah,
Whenever the
won't be
Fed
surprised.
gives back the cocaine to the markets, we are going back to all time high most likely.
I,
So
I wouldn't say all-time highs, but at least like 600, 700 point rally in
no
ES is
problem, no
possible.
problem, no
Easy.
problem. So
Mhm.
CH says,
430-ish.
check this out, Mario. CH says
Yeah.
Elon will smoke a blunt and say he's just kidding. Yeah, that's a possibility. Absolutely, it's a possibility.
Oh
Uh,
my days.
for sure. Yeah, we already did Tesla. Elgin
All right, we
Jenkins,
already
what's
did
up, guys?
Tesla
Hey,
and
Quality
we did
5S
SPY.
is asking about pins and Robinhood.
Pens.
Yeah,
Wow, it's been a long, long
we got good
time since
news
I did.
about pins. It was upgraded today, Mario. I
Wow.
think that Goldman Sachs upgraded pins. I didn't take a look at it, to be honest with you guys, today throughout
Goldman
the trading
Sachs.
session, but let's go ahead and take a look at pins. Absolutely, yeah.
Let's see. All right. So Pens looks like
Mhm. This is a
they
decent
gapped
chart.
up today.
I got up
They
to that. Yeah, it was
gapped up
upgraded.
today.
It was upgraded.
Mhm. Yeah, they gapped up really good today, and for now, there looks like the support of 25.72 is still holding. They went all the way up to fill this gap and then like closed under it. So the 26.13 is gonna be the first level of resistance. And then after 26.13, we can easily like push all the way to like 26.75 to the upside. But again, it depends on the payrolls data, it depends on how the market reacts. So if they don't like it, they can come all the way back down to $25 to test today's lows, or come all the way back down to fill this gap at 24.65 as well.
Yeah, good chart. I mean, it's not the
Yeah,
best
pretty
looking
good looking
chart, right?
charts.
But
Yeah.
yeah, in the markets, but taking into account the bear market that we are dealing with, is a decent
Mhm.
chart. Bro, take a look
Check
at the
out
hood.
Hood.
So take a look
Yeah,
at the
I'm seeing
low.
it right now.
I was taking a look at this chart today during my live
LOW,
streaming. Take a look at the low, at the low. When
oh,
did Robinhood hit that low?
around June 16, June lows.
Okay, there you go. But it is way up the lows, right?
Yeah, it's like
So
$5 above the
yeah, so
lows. How much
that's a good
percentage
sign for
is?
Robinhood, bro. It looks like it
It's
is,
no, bro. It's
yeah,
like
it
up
ran
like
out of,
63%.
yeah, but I mean, it looks like in the case of the stock of this company, the bottom might be in, unless we see a
Yep,
massive crash in the market. So it
most
is five
likely.
bucks off the highs, sorry, five
Hmm.
bucks off the lows,
Hmm.
and the short looks acceptable. We can make the case
Yeah,
if
it's
you
under
can,
the declining 200 SMA as
yeah,
well. So, like,
the-
if they do come back lower tomorrow, if this is the top for this rally, I can see them going all the way back down to test the bottom of this range at $9 again. They've been
yeah,
range bound right now from $11 all the way down to like $9. So I can see that
yeah.
it can actually like carry on
The
same
situation
range.
the situation could change a bit if the bulls can take out that 200-day moving average, that declining
Oh
200-day
yeah.
moving average. That would
Yep,
be
they
good
can run a
news.
test at 11. Yep.
Yeah,
They can run
yeah.
a test
While
all the way to like $12 or even like
Mhm.
13.78 if that happens. But until
So you
then, it's going to be 11
you
important.
shouldn't touch this stock while it remains below that declining 200-day moving average. Yeah, we agree on
Not
that,
for
Mario.
longs, yeah. If you're
Hmm,
not
correct.
taking, if you went long at the lows and got the bottom, this is the place where you secure profits for a
Yeah.
trade. So yeah, not a new place to establish longs.
So Jimmy Jones
So
asked Mario over
mhm.
here, are hedge funds obligated to pay back shorts that they put through the dark pool? Do they usually have a time frame to pay? Do they have to cover a short position even if it is synthetic? Do you have any
Hmm.
comment about it? I
Hedge
have
funds
I,
obligated to
I
pay
have
back shorts.
researched a lot about dark pools, guys, and it
Yeah.
is extremely difficult to know exactly what is going on
Yeah, I
um,
mean, dark pool prints, like,
in
I mean,
any
I
dark
don't,
pool.
yeah,
Those
to
are
be honest with you, I don't know how it works. So I'm not going to bullshit
Mhm.
my way out. Like, I honestly don't know how it works. So if you know, you can share it with me. I'm happy to learn how it works. So I
Yeah,
honestly
no,
don't know how it
those are
works.
private transactions, Mario. So they sell shares, they sell and buy shares without going
Hmm.
through the exchanges. So that's
Mhm.
what happened. That's what happens, and that's why it is so but so tough to know what is exactly going on in a dark pool. Say that
Hmm.
you are a hedge fund, and I am
Hmm.
a hedge fund, and I tell you,
Hmm.
hey, bro, I have I don't know 300,000 shares of AMD, but
Mhm.
that transaction, let's say that yeah, that transaction is private between you and I. So
Hmm.
we didn't go through an exchange.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that transaction doesn't move the underlying stock because we are
Hmm.
selling. I am selling you my shares in a private way. So
Hmm.
that's what goes on in a dark pool, and that's why it is so difficult to know exactly what is going on in a dark pool.
Hmm.
Said D. So, and when it comes to the question of Jimmy Jones, um, I don't know. There are so many urban legends about dark pools, guys, or Jimmy. So I don't really trust. When I listen to someone saying, "Yeah, because there was a transaction in a dark pool that is going to affect this and that stock," I am a bit skeptical. Let's just put it that way.
All right. I
Said
mean,
D.
like, I don't know about that, to be honest. Like, how do you know which hedge funds actually made the dark pool order? Is it like
Correct.
possible to be out, or I don't know? I
Correct.
don't know.
It's a
Do they have a
private.
time frame to
It is a
frame?
private transaction, Mario. Just like that.
Yep.
Said, isn't September and October historically the worst 2 months for the markets? Yeah. So the bad influence of September usually lasts until mid-October. After
Mm-hmm.
mid-October, and especially in a midterm election year, the
Mm-hmm.
markets usually go higher. But this year has been a very special one, right? We have
Yep.
so many concerns on the table that
Mm-hmm.
it's been a very tough year. So we
It is
are
indeed.
28 minutes in. We're going to wrap it up, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Mario. We definitely need to sign up for Zoom VIP, or what's the plan? Zoom what?
Zoom
Zoom.
business.
There you go. Zoom business.
We
We'll
can
do
do
it
that.
for next Thursday, guys. Promised. Okay.
Mm.
So we
Yeah.
can stream for you guys for longer. So thank you
Mhm.
very much. Take care and see you guys tomorrow, first thing in the morning. We're going to have a
Yep.
big day.
Nice. Yep.
Bye.
Indeed.
Thanks,
Yep.
Mario. Take care. Take care,
No worries, man.
guys. Bye
Yep.
bye.